Sorry if you hear some like weird music in the background. I'm just stupid movie on the VHS, but I think I showed you this last night. What's he doing? Huh? No more popcorn. You can't have popcorn. I found a lot of this at the Ace. Some of it, not all of it, but I found most of this kind of stuff at that sand gravel pit. I found a lot of interesting, cool stuff in that pit. I didn't find that. I don't know how that ended up in there, but a lot of shards, which I don't know what I'm going to do with these, but these marbles are pretty cool, because these are old. I don't know how old, but they're like, I don't know a lot about marbles, but when I would find one of these a good bit, and I always would find them in one area. But I like collecting marbles. They're pretty cool. I think one of these I might have found in a creek in Asheville, but you come across these a good bit. We at least expect it. So there's some glass in there. I like green glass. Green glass is probably my fave. That's clear. That's a Coke bottle glass. Where is it? Let's see here. That one was pretty smooth. I think I found this one in that sand pit too. There was an old house that stood on there, and the owner Ace, he bulldozed that house over. So there's a lot of stuff found. There's an old model I found in there as well. That one's more modern, but this one is, I'd say, more antique. This one I showed earlier, and then this one's pretty cool. Maybe employees that walk out and be like, "What are you doing out there?" I'm like, "I'm bored as shit." Now, this is a pretty cool one. I like marbles a lot. I play marbles myself, but I find a lot of these kind of here. Here's some green glass here. I'm guessing that came off a Sprite bottle, because I can tell about I know a little bit about glass. Oh shit, I lost it. It's down here. But this might be more of a modern piece here, because you can see by the indentation there. But it might have been an older one. I don't know. A lot of these, some of these green glass pieces, not many. Oh, this is a cool marble. Look at this one. I don't know why these marbles are in here in the first place. They should be in my room. That's more of a modern one though, with that glass flow in there. Yeah, but a lot of pieces. That's kind of more of a. That's probably I found that one in the sand pit at Ace. I don't know though. I think that was. I guess just being buried in that gravel pit. It's kind of like a sand dirt mixture. It's not really a sand pit, but there's an old piece of coal there. I think there's another one. That one's really beat up. That's really much it. That's probably the base of a Coke bottle. So that's that on that. It's kind of, it's all kind of the same. I think I found that on Cumberland. But yeah, so it's a lot of marbles. But I don't know what I'm gonna do with the marbles. I think either maybe I'm gonna do another resin table. I like to do a table with these kind of interesting things in there, kind of like you did with yours, the Christie thing. But, it's some pottery. That's modern, terracotta. I think that's a Pepsi bottle, the base of a Pepsi bottle. It's a prehistoric fossilized. I don't know what that is, but this should not be in there. How that ended up in there? That might have been in the Cumberland, because I went to Grayfield Inn, the inn over there at Cumberland Island. I stayed there a couple of days, and the roads are just all the roads are made up of just dredge of stuff, and that's probably why that was found in there. But I found a lot of cool glass and stuff in that dredge. I could spend all day on that dredge. It's pretty interesting, because this is a piece of brown glass, and it's pretty thick right here. So usually when you find brown, it's usually real thin because of beer bottles, but this one actually was kind of thick, and I think I found this on Cumberland as well. I don't know why I didn't use it in that teeth thing, but it's probably because of the different colors. I was trying to go for more of the vibrant colors. There's another glass marble. A lot of the marbles were found in that pit at Ace. I think this is a Carnegie piece, which I'm going to show you in a minute. So that should be over there. I think I just kind of threw this stuff together. Another fossilized piece. That's probably whalebone. That needs to be over here. I think I kind of just dumped some stuff in there. There's another cool marble. You got a lot of marbles in here. I guess I put all the marbles in this bucket. Anyway, I'm not going to go up all over this. You could probably see this when you visit. You can have a few pieces if you want, but that's like, you can tell that's more of a modern piece because you can see that rib right there for a beer bottle, but that probably was found in the gravel pit as well. So that's very thin compared to the one I showed you earlier, this thick piece right here. There's a couple thick brown pieces in here, and I think I was going to use these for that table, but like I said, it's contrast. I was trying to go for more beachy kind of earthy colors like the blues, like this one right here, which I showed earlier. That's a worn down piece. That one was found either in the gravel pit or on Cumberland. I can't remember. I think it was more of the gravel. So that's that. That's a whole bunch of shit in there. A bunch of marbles and shorts and stuff. And then I have, this is the Carnegie glass. I don't know how familiar you are with Cumberland Island, but I've been there multiple times. The last time I had, last year in the summer, I stayed at the Grayfield Inn, which was not cheap, but well worth it. Maybe we can go one time when I have days off. Because you need at least 3 days to go to that inn. But this is all Carnegie. This stuff is from, that was a huge ordeal back in the early 19th century, I should say. And so, I mean, this stuff is lying on the ground. It's, from all the homes over there, and they had a huge farm and stuff. And some of this glass is from their dairy works. And these places, these buildings have collapsed, and any glass that's remaining is like on the ground. If there are structures, the structures it's just are basically the shells, the tabby shells. So I just kind of like pocketed some of this stuff because it's like one day I want to make a window out of it, and I don't know how I'm going to do that. But I did see on Amazon they had one of those glass grinders you could grind it down. But this stuff is very antique. This glass right here is probably 120 something years old. So, and I used to have more of it. And I gave it to somebody to kind of work a window for me, and then had a falling out there, and I never got it back. But these right here are tiles from the Carnegie, I guess it was the recreational place, and only got 5 of them. So maybe one day I'll put them in my house someday in the bathroom, kind of layer them in there. But that's it. All I've got so far. I've got that, and I've got this, and then I've got I've got this. There's a bunch of these are basically just shards of pottery and whatnots. I found this. I was working for a woman early on when I was in nursing school. I needed a job, and I was landscaping her backyard, and it was like, at one time it was a farm, and I found this piece. This probably goes to one of those large like jugs, but I found this base of this one. Pretty cool stuff. She would just let me keep whatever I found. She thought it was kind of funny that I would just every time I'd pull up something, I'd just like put it in my pocket. So that looks like a plate maybe, but most of this stuff is from Carolyn's house. She should be at the party, but it's a piece of it looks like shale, but I think I found that at Ace, so that goes in the Ace bucket. But yeah, all these are just shards. Most of these I found at that lady's house, Carolyn's. I found that one. It's like a little teacup. The base there, nice design. I like that guide work there. But I think I found that at her house. It's kind of sad because you find this stuff and you dig it up and you find one of these pieces, or you might find sorry, god damn. Ugh. Fly just ran up in my mouth. Ugh. Oh, that was bad. Hopefully it wasn't a moth. But you find these pieces, and God, probably get some nutritional value out of that one. But you might find one of these, a shard, or you might find a different shard that's nearby. They don't match. Like you know they go to the same piece, but there's just no way you're going to find everyone to fit, you know, to put them back together. Ugh, excuse me. Oh, man. Found this one. Oh, found this in that woman Carolyn's yard. I think I found maybe a few pieces, like a few fragments that would go together. There was a bottle that I found. It was a really, really old bottle. I think it was like 18th century bottle. There's another vase. I probably went to like a little dish. Man, that was, golly, that thing was huge. This one looks kind of like, that's a glaze. You can see the glaze on it, but then you can see the ripples there. So I don't know how old that one is, but I found, like I said, I found a few 18th century bottles, and there was enough fragments where I could glue that together, and then I don't know what I'd do with it, but there's another piece. I don't know what that goes to. But anyway, that's what I've got so far. I think there's more. I have them elsewhere. I don't know where they are, but pretty cool stuff. There's another one. It's got that kind of same like ripple look there. It's got some kind of wording on there, though. Huh. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Anyway, that's what I got. Hope you enjoyed.